Hello and welcome to the London Buddhist Centre. My name's Sraddhagita and welcome to this yoga class today entitled Observing the Mind. So do grab your mats, blocks if you've got some, and anything you're going to need for the yoga class. We'll be starting in a few minutes. What's that?
Michelle says hello.
Oh, Michelle's saying hello already. Great. Hi, Michelle. Oh, in the garden. Hope the rain keeps off and the storm's coming. Yeah, do say hi in the chat box and where you're from. I've got Tara and Anna here. I've got two students, hooray! And they're doing the tech, so that's really nice. Almost a live yoga class, hybrid class, you could say. But yeah, a really warm welcome to all of you from wherever you're tuning in today. In this very muggy, close day, yeah, we are going to have, I think, some rain. Bit of thunder last night, booming in the distance, and a little bit of rain, but not that much.
Nicole says hi, she's new, and it's her first class.
Oh, great. Hackney. Hi there, Nicole. Welcome from Hackney, first class. Brilliant.
And Teresa says hi from sunny and rainy Croydon.
Sunny and rainy Croydon. Wow, you must have rainbows then. Welcome to you as well. Yeah, great. Yeah, so we'll start in a couple of minutes. So yeah, if you're running a wee bit late, but you've already turned, the class on, then you've still got time to get what you need, change. You can leave it to the wire in these online classes, luckily.
So Elizabeth says hello from Brighton.
Hi there, Elizabeth from Brighton. That's nice. Tuning in from the sea. How many people have we got tuning in so far?
We've got 9 watching.
9 watching, great. And we've got 2 in the room, so that's 11. And I'm sure a few more will sneak in the door. Or not sneak, but just come in the door. No need to sneak if you're late. Just come for whatever you can. That's what we normally do here as well. So yeah.
John says hi from Bethnal Green.
Oh, hi John. Nice to see you. Tuning in from just over the road. Okay, so we will make a start now, and as I said, some people will probably join us. So we're going to be looking a little bit today at observing the mind in yoga. And I guess the first thing I want to say is, well, first of all, we have to sort of start to notice and look at what is actually happening in our minds. Before we do anything, we need to start to actually perhaps cultivate is a kind of curiosity about what's happening in our minds. So you could just sit here right now, just notice, what are your soft, fast, slow? Maybe there's something that's preoccupying you. So just notice and turn towards whatever's there and look at them. And not particularly try and do anything with them. Because one of the things that you might notice is that sometimes when you stop trying to change anything, it just sort of settles itself. It's a bit like our mind is like this bubbling lake full of waves and things just moving over the surface and deeper down. And we can just notice that lake. And then over time, what can happen is that lake can start to settle down into very, very still water. So that's how we're going to be trying to work today. We're going to try and come back to this image of the lake and still water. And at the same time, notice the waves, but not identify with them. Okay, so we're going to start now with a little bit of centering, and I'll just guide us into that. So first of all, just let the buttock bones, sitting bones, really sink down so that you feel supported, connected. And at the same time as letting those buttock bones sink down, see if on the in-breath you can just generate a gentle lift in the rib cage. So not puffing ourselves up or forcing anything. Just this gentle lift in the rib cage. Gentle lengthening of the back. And maybe just let the chin drop a little bit to lengthen the neck. And see if you can get a sense of yourself sitting tall, poised, grounded. And notice the sensations of breath as you sit here. And any sensations from the five senses. So sensations of sound, touch, smell, taste. And also that whole visual field behind your eyelids. Dots of colour, blobs maybe, light, shadow. And then in Buddhism, the sixth sense is the mind. So see if you can notice the sensations of thoughts. Notice how they arise, stay a while, and then disappear. Maybe the same thoughts keep arising, staying a while, disappearing, over and over. Or maybe there's lots of new thoughts. Just notice what the mind is manifesting. Turn towards it and notice it. Be curious. And see if you can just leave it alone. No need to stop anything happening, and no need to try and make anything else happen. And see if you can take the awareness below the surface of these thoughts, just dropping underneath them a little bit, underneath the story, underneath the waves. And maybe you won't manage that. Maybe the waves are a bit too strong right now. And that's okay. Just try and watch those, observe those. But if you can drop underneath them a bit, just see what it's like underneath. And see if you can rest there. And then slowly letting go. Slowly opening your eyes. And we're going to start to move the body. We're going to do some side stretches to begin with and just interlace our hands, stretch the arms in front of us. You could still be sitting on blocks or move a block and then stretch the palms upwards. And if you want to move a little bit from side to side, really trying to breathe from that hip all the way up to the fingertips, stretching out the side body and then back to center and moving over to the other side. Letting the face soften and then stretching upwards as if your hands are being gently pulled up. At the same time, the sitting bones are rooting down. And then slowly release the arms. And we'll do the same but with the opposite interlace. So again, stretching up. And try and let the shoulders drop and let the head and the neck be free. Soften the face and stretch. And then again, slowly release. And then we're going to interlace the hands behind us and just draw the backs of the hands away, lifting the chest a little bit. If you can lift the hands up. Great. Soften the face. Breathe. One more breath. Wonderful. And then release. And then bringing the left hand down to the ground, lifting the right arm up and over. And again, feeling this stretch from the hip all the way to the fingertips. Feeling the space opening up in this side body. And then bringing the arm back for a moment and then turn to look at your hand on the ground. You're just going to move the arm back and forth a little bit. This is nice for the nerves. So just moving the wrists, the hands and the arms. And then, because we've been here for a while, we're going to take hold of our head and gently lift our head up. I did this morning in a yoga class. I really liked it, so I thought we'd do it today. And then moving to the other side, so lifting and stretching. Stretching the side body, lengthening the fingertips, feeling that energy. Being aware of the mind again. Maybe the mind now is really absorbed already in the practice. So it's already settling. Just notice that. And then we're going to bring the arm back a little bit again. Look down towards the hand on the ground. And then just move the arm, rotating the arm, the wrist. Nice stretch there. And then that same arm comes to the side of the head, the right side of the head, and then slowly lifts it up. Great. And then we'll take a little twist. So we're just going to move the left hand to the right knee behind. Again, sitting up nice and tall. And just turning to the right. Breathing. Releasing. And then letting the arms swing around so that you've got the right hand on the left knee behind, left hand behind. And if it's okay on the neck, turning a little bit more. Two more breaths here. And then coming back to center. And then we'll come on to our hands and knees. And just do a few cat-cows, waking up back. So bringing the hands under the shoulders, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And then just a few cat-cows, so lifting the chest and the sitting bones on the inhale. And then as we exhale, rounding, dropping head and tail. And as you exhale, drawing the navel a little bit closer to the spine. And you might wag your tail a little bit in this as well. Just feeling into the back body, the side body. A few more of these. And then tucking our toes, drawing the hips back and then lifting up, coming into a downward dog and just walking our heels alternately towards the ground. And see if we can find some length in the downward dog, bending the knees a little bit if we need to, tilting the pelvis, really lengthening the back, freeing up the neck, creating a bit of space for the shoulders. You could widen the hands a little bit more if that helps. And then let the knees drop down, bring the hands forward a little bit and let yourself come down into a cobra and make the fingers into a kind of teepee shape with the elbows bent. And then we're going to lift up, pressing the legs and the pubic bone down and then release. Let's do 3 of these, lifting up, releasing down, lifting up and releasing down. And then one more, and this time we're going to stay for a few breaths. So lifting up, releasing the head and the neck, letting the shoulders roll back, and then slowly releasing again, hands next to the chest, back through all fours and back into a downward dog. And again, walking out the legs. So we're going to try taking our right hand off the floor. If you're new to yoga, this might feel a bit too much. I know we've got at least one new person, so stay in the downward dog with both hands and feet on the ground if this feels too much. But if you can, taking the right hand off the floor and just taking hold of the opposite leg, so the left leg, and just coming into a little twist. We're not going to be here for too long. If it feels too much on that left arm and shoulder, then really don't stay too long. It's a nice stretch. And then bring the hand back, settling back into a four-limbed downward dog. And then this time taking the left hand off and bringing it somewhere onto that right leg, outer leg or ankle, and turning a little bit here into a twist. Breathing. Two more breaths. And then bringing the hand back. And once again, knees drop to the floor. Come forward into a cobra, coming up, waving down, and then back again into a downward dog. And then we're going to walk the feet forward between our hands. So the feet are about hip width apart, fingertips on the ground. Have a soft bend in the knees if you like. And then lengthen the back forward, gaze down, and then fold in. Letting the head release. You could even take hold of the elbows for a moment. And then bringing the fingertips back onto the floor, lengthening the back again, folding in, and then circling the arms all the way up and bringing the hands to the heart. And just noticing the mind, observing what's happening in the mind. Has the quality of the mind changed? Is it becoming a bit more like still water? Or is there still a bit of turbulence? Whatever's there is okay, just trying to welcome it, turn towards it, and also leave it alone. Let it change by itself. And then we'll do a couple of sun salutations. So on the inhale, stretching up, exhale, coming down, inhale, lengthen the back, exhale, step the right foot back, followed by the left. Come into a plank now, or knees, chest, chin, and then lowering yourself down, scooping through and up to an up dog or cobra, and then a down dog. 2 breaths here. And then stepping the right foot forward, left follows, lengthening forward, folding in, and then inhaling, circling the arms all the way up, hands to the heart. And then same thing on the other side. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, step the left foot back, right foot joins, and then either coming through knees, chest and chin, or coming into a plank, lowering yourself down, scooping through and up, and then back into downward dog. 2 breaths here. And then stepping the left foot forward, right follows, lengthening, folding in, and then inhaling, circling the arms all the way up and bringing the hands to the heart. So we'll do that same round again. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step the right foot back. Left foot joins. Come into a plank. Hold that for 2 breaths. Or knees, chest, chin, of course. And then lowering yourself down. Up dog. Down dog. 2 breaths here. So we're going slow enough to really observe the mind and watch what's happening moment by moment, and then stepping forward with the right foot, left foot joins, lengthen on the inhale, exhale, fold in, and then inhaling, circling the arms all the way up, hands to the heart. Other side, inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, step the left foot back and right follows, coming into a plank, up dog, down dog, 2 breaths, lifting the sitting bones, and then step forward with the left foot, right joins, lengthen on the inhale, exhale, and then inhaling, circling the arms all the way up, hands to the heart. And then we're going to take a side stretch. So taking hold of your right wrist with your left hand and just stretching that same stretch that we did with interlaced fingers at the start. This time we're stretching right from the outer right foot all the way to the fingertips of the right hand. And then back to center and other side. Great. Back to center, and then back to top of the mat. We're going to step back into a standing pose. So step the foot back for Trikonasana. So just straightening that front leg, turning the back foot in a bit. And we're going to really try and, let's keep the hand on the hip, and then we're really trying to lengthen this underside. So really lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Keep lengthening, keep lengthening. And then we'll bring the hand down. And then we can either turn and lift that left arm up, or we can keep it on our hip. Turn the chest a little bit. And just notice how heavy we might be on that hand, on the shin. And just if you can lift that hand off the shin and see if you can use the strength of this undercarriage, as it were, to stay in the pose. Just see how that feels to have a floating hand. So you're using the strength of your feet, strength of your side core muscles, and then place the hand back again, but not too heavily. And then one more breath, and then slowly coming up. This time we're going to come into Warrior Two, so you might need to stretch the foot forward a little bit. And again, finding that length. Breathing, looking along the front hand, middle finger. And then we're going to come into side angle pose, so lifting the palm upwards. And again, notice how much pressure we use. So try not to have a really heavy pressing elbow into the thigh. Just have a sort of lighter touch. And then see if you can lift the arm, bring it across and over, stretching from toes, outer heel to fingertips, this side stretch. And again, see if you can lift that elbow off the thigh. If that's too much and you're newer to yoga, don't worry, keep it there lightly, but just see how it feels. Feel into the pose. So you're using your side muscles a little bit more, and then bring that elbow down again with a sense of more lightness. One more breath. And then reaching the arm back, come back into warrior two. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to turn our feet, come into Trikonasana first of all. So just first of all, finding the ground, lifting the arms. And again, this stretch. The back arm, I'm going to have my hand on my hip for now, stretching the left arm, and then slowly bring it down onto the shin or further down. Turn the chest, lift the right arm up. And then see if you can keep the shape of the pose and take the left hand off the shin. If you can use the strength of the side body, muscles, the core, and then you can put the hand back on the shin, but with a lighter touch. 2 more breaths. Great, you're doing really well. And notice what's happening in the mind, doing this Trikonasana in a slightly different way if you're more familiar with it. And then bringing that arm back and coming into warrior two, so edging the toes forward a little bit, looking along the middle finger of the left hand, stretching the right hand back without needing to look and check where it is. 2 breaths here. Drawing up energy from the earth. And then turning the palm, lightly resting the elbow, and then bringing the right arm up and alongside the ear, stretching those fingers, stretching from the fingertips right down to the outer edge of the right foot. And then see how it feels to just lift that left elbow off the thigh for a moment. Just lightly lifting it off, using the strength of the legs, side muscles. And you can place it down again, lightly. Wonderful. And then lifting that back arm up and coming back into warrior two. Great. And then we're going to turn the feet forward for a moment. And then we're going to turn them out and come into goddess pose with a side stretch. So bending the knees, turning the toes and kind of dropping the pelvis, dropping the hips. I'm trying to lift through the chest. So I find this quite a hard pose. So you might find it hard too, but it helps if I smile and not resist it too much. And then we're going to try lifting that right arm and stretching the side body from hip to fingertips. Can we do that? And we can make this quite flowing so we don't stay in it for too long. So moving from side to side, stretching. And our knees and our inner thighs may be protesting. So notice what our mind does with that. As we do a few of these. Last one. Great. And then bring the hands back to center. Straighten the legs. And then bring the feet forward. Bend the knees. And we're going to fold again from the hips. It's a relief probably to just release the hands on the head. And again, you could take hold of the elbows if you want to, as we did earlier, And you can nod the head. Yes, you can shake it no. And do bend the knees more and more if you need to, that's fine. Or you can just keep a sort of micro bend and the back may still release. Great. And then turning those toes in and doing a sort of heel toe so that you bring the feet closer towards you. And then we're going to come into Malasana, or just garland pose, to just come down and get into the mat, get back onto the ground again. So just going to be there for a moment, and you can let the bottom come down. I'll try and move away from my my wire, as it were. And then we're going to slowly rock down, really slowly. So gentle engagement in the core muscles, letting the back roll down. Really slow here. Great. And then at the end, it might be a bit faster. And then hugging the knees for a moment to your chest, just rocking a little bit from side to side. And then you can hold each knee, have a hand on each knee, and just draw a few circles around the sacrum. And then also you can draw the knees away from each other and then back together again. And doing that a few times, easing out the inner thighs, going in both directions. And then bring the feet onto the ground, stretch the arms away from you, and just let your knees drop from side to side. So you can inhale the knees up and exhale them to the ground. So it's a moving twist. You can let the torso and the head move to the opposite side to the knees, if that feels okay on the neck. So this is a nice movement for the thigh bones as well. They get to kind of roll a bit from side to side. And then coming back through center, stretching out the legs. And we're just going to come into one more side stretch called Bananasana, which is a kind of banana shape. So you're going to be a banana for just a minute or so. So let's walk our feet towards the bottom left of the mat, crossing the right ankle over the left. And then walk the arms, the hands, to the top left of the mat. And you can take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. So you're making a curved banana shape. Great. Really good bananas. You're a good bunch of bananas, all of you. And it's a nice stretch for the side body. You're going to feel taller after this, more energized probably. Side stretches can be really energizing. And that can also have an effect on the mind. It can help to sort of clear the mind a bit. particularly if it feels a bit kind of tired or dull or anything like that. 2 more breaths. And then walk the feet back to center, and then walk the feet to the bottom right of your mat, letting the left ankle, if that feels okay, cross the right. And then walking the hands to the top right. Left hand taking right wrist. Stretch that side body. Great, and then slowly walking the feet back to center, and then you can let the feet drop away from each other, come into Shavasana. So you can either have the hands on the belly, or one on the belly, one on the chest, or you could let the palms face upwards. And let yourself rest now, feeling the benefits of the practice. Letting the weight, the back body sink into the earth. And notice your breath, sensations of breath. And just notice too the quality of your mind. Maybe there's an image or a colour or a shape or a word that describes the mind. See if you can drop down beneath the surface to a quieter place, a stiller place. And then slowly start to bring a little bit of movement back to fingers and toes, stretching hands and feet. You can take a stretch behind you if you want to, feeling how tall you are now after all that side body stretching. And if you're not on a 45-minute sort of time frame, then you can stay lying down for a bit longer if you want to. But if you are on this 45-minute frame, then you could start to roll to your side. Rest there for a moment, or slowly come up. And we'll just sit for a short time. I'll read you a poem to end the class. So again, just sitting. Having a few moments of quiet and peace. So this is a poem by Shiite. Not going, not coming, rooted deep and still. Not reaching out, not reaching in, just resting. At the center, a single jewel, the flawless crystal drop. In the blaze of its brilliance, the way beyond. Not going, not coming, rooted deep and still. Not reaching out, not reaching in, just resting. At the center, a single jewel, the flawless crystal drop. In the blaze of its brilliance, the way beyond. And then in your own time, slowly opening your eyes. So the poem, in case you're interested, is from a book called The View from Cold Mountain, and it's poems of Han Shan and Shiite. Thank you very much for joining us today. Thanks to Tara and Anna for both being here. Really nice to see them practicing, and to also, it's just nice to have that sort of, there's a rapport and there was laughter, particularly when we're talking about a bunch of bananas. So I really enjoyed that, enjoyed having them here. And yeah, thanks to all of you for joining us, if it's for the first time or if you've been joining us regularly, that you've just been continuing to support us and join us with these classes. And it really does build up. Yoga, just like meditation, is cumulative. So, you know, you're really building up your practice as well by joining in with those and helping us create a yoga community. So thank you for that. We want to keep making these things happen, and we're also planning, well, definitely doing a yoga intensive coming up. Myself and Dan Utah are going to be doing that. That's Monday to Friday, 24th to the 28th of August. Mornings from 7:30 till 9, and late afternoon, early evening, 5:15 till 6:15. So if you want to take your yoga practice a bit deeper, do sign up for that. Anna's going to put a link in the chat box. It'll all be on Zoom, so you do need to definitely book. You can't just drop into that one. But yeah, do think about coming to that. It'd be great to see you all. I'd love it if you came. And also, if you are able to just help in any way today by just, showing your appreciation for the class, by just giving a donation, however big or small, it really helps us, and it helps just keep these classes going and keep that energy flowing. I mean, in the end, money is just energy, isn't it? Flowing, from one person to another, from one thing to another. And yeah, if you want to join in with that flow of generosity, then yeah, don't stop yourself. Thank you very much, and hope to see you all again soon.